Coming off the back of a terrible qualifying session, I am starting 4th in B main in the sprint race here at Raceway Park, New Jersey. As we take the green flag, my eyes are set on 1st so I can move up to A main if I win this race. As we enter into the first 2 turns, I head down to the inside with a massive scare from 2nd place spinning out. And just like that, with a straight and 2 turns, I am now already up in 2nd and starting to head towards the leader. I gained a lot of time in this portion of the track because the driver ahead didn't have the best entrance into the corners, which meant that I was going to be able to have way better exits coming out of the turns than him. As we begin lap 2, I went from starting 4th position to right on the tail of the leader with no pressure behind me. At least I assume no pressure because that wreck probably took care of a good amount of drivers. Since we're only on lap 2, you're gonna see me stay behind the leader, even though there's a few opportunities that open up to overtake him. That's because I don't wanna wreck out super early in the race, and this is a one-on-one battle with 15 minutes left in the race. I was telling myself to be patient during this race and to make wise decisions. I wanted to have a fun battle to overtake for the win, and didn't want to end up like P2 in the first corner of the lap. Something I will be honest is that I struggle with overtaking and trying to find places to overtake, especially while trying to be clean. So if anybody down in the comments has any advice on that, I would love to hear it. Although I was struggling a lot with trying to find a place to overtake on this track, I was managing to stay right behind him, which is the most important part. I was trying to keep a level head, and throughout the race, I was staying calm, which is something that really helps you make decisions and keep you in the race. Coming down into this final sector, though I didn't know it, there was yellow flags all out for a stop driver on the track. My eyes were only set on the driver ahead, which they really shouldn't be, they should be on the track. Thankfully though, I had the reaction time to follow him through cutting the chicane. And there, I relearned a lesson to keep my eyes on the track instead of the driver ahead. We get an amazing exit out of my favorite corner of the track, and we're managing to stay alongside him and overtake him. Only 5 minutes into this race, and we've gone from 4th to 1st. as well as witnessing 2 cautions on the track in only 5 minutes. The pressure isn't off, however, because he is right on my tail as we come through the last parts of this track. At this point in the race, I am calm. However, I hate defending over going for the attack. So my nerves have jumped up a little bit more. While leading, I try and stay focused on being consistent and having consistent fast lap times. If I stay consistently fast, perhaps second place would wreck out or make a mistake. But I know all I'm looking for is the gap to increase between me and the driver behind me. And just ahead, for the 3rd time, a driver has spun out. You can hear me saying come on multiple times because I am really feeling the pressure that is coming from the driver right behind me. He was fast and he was staying on my tail, and I knew the battle wasn't over. As I didn't get my cart turned enough into that turn, he managed to poke his cart on the inside of mine. He wasn't able to pull off any moves, but it was a great reminder to me that he was still right with me. Another 2 laps complete, and I'm really trying to push myself for faster lap times. I'm trying anything in my power to pull away from second place so I can have a clean finish. If you haven't watched last week's videos, which was my first 2 races at this track, and this was my 3rd ever race at the track. If I were you, I'd consider going to watch those right after this race. But in those videos, I mentioned how if you won the B main race, you'd be moving up in the A main for the feature race. I managed to do it last time, and it increases the value of this win so much more. The opportunity to fight in the A main feature was something that I really wanted to do, and I really wanted to prove myself after a terrible cart in the last A main feature. This wasn't just for a win at this new track. This was a second opportunity to prove myself to other drivers and to give a lot of competition to other older drivers who have been racing here for way longer than me. I'm still feeling a lot of pressure from behind, but it's a lot less pressure than it was. That's because there have been no moves made in the last bunch of laps. You can see me trying to push closer and closer to the wall for a better exit, while also looking back at different parts of the track to see where second place is. As now we're coming up behind the first lap traffic that will be passing that didn't spin out. I get an amazing exit compared to him coming out of the last corner, and we have a crazy run coming down the straight. This was an amazing feeling because I wasn't stuck behind him for any part of the track. It was an easy overtake that costed me no time, which with lap traffic is the main goal. You don't want to be wasting precious time in your race being stuck behind a driver that really doesn't even matter in your race. Yet another lap goes by and I'm thinking to myself, when will this race end? I'm leading, I have a comfortable lead now, and I'm just waiting for that checkered flag to fly. As the fourth driver spins right in front of me, I almost pee my pants. That was super close and almost took me out from the lead of this race with like no time left. Thankfully, he moved down to the inside in time, and we were able to pass him with no time lost, just a higher heart rate. I don't know it yet, but only 2 minutes left in this race remain. And there is a huge gap between me and second place, which I am super happy about. However, I'm still going to continue pushing my cart. As now a fifth driver spins in front of me, I see him as I'm rapidly approaching. The camera didn't capture it well, but he was going to come right back on the track but stopped, which is why I waved to him as a thank you. That's a total of 5 drivers spinning on this race, just that I have seen. This race was feeling like a F2 race at Monaco. We are now coming around for the final lap of the race, although I didn't know it because apparently this track doesn't believe in white flags or checkered flags. Again, I'm checking to see if anybody's behind me, if there's any pressure on me, which there isn't at this part of the race. I have a good, comfortable lead on second place, and it looks like I'm going to be moving up to main A. As we're coming around for the final time to finish up this lap, I'm going to be taking the victory of main B for the sprint race, which means I'm going to be moving up to main A for the feature. Subscribe and stay tuned for that race to see how well I do, since I'll be starting dead last.